Hello everyone, Susan here with Life Stories. Today we're going to start out in Mark 9:23. In this verse, Jesus says, "All things are possible for him who believes." I started at the beginning of this grief series in regards to my mom, having been a child who had grown up in the church but no longer involved and not really believing. So my mom has been diagnosed terminal with cancer. Life changes quite a bit. Your view, your perspective changes quite a bit with that. To tell this story, I kind of have to tell another story. 20 years prior, my mother had a daughter who was praying for her, writing her letters, encouraging her in the faith, but having no fruit. Also, 20 years prior to that, I had a great-grandmother who was our saving grace in so many ways. She was just a fantastic lady. When the pastor did her funeral service when she passed away, he didn't bother to personalize it at all. He didn't get any cool stories of this really neat lady. And it really bothered my mom because she was such a neat lady, and it was just a generic funeral service. So that story and my mom's situation brought us to this story. When my mom knew she was terminal, she wanted someone to do her funeral that knew someone in the family. So she asked if my pastor would do her service. And I, knowing my pastor, I said, "Yeah, Mom, but he's going to want to talk to you." And he did. He did. So we set up the date for him to come and meet my mom and spend some time with her. And at that time, I was helping my mom out by cleaning the house. And so I was cleaning about the house, and I had cleaned myself into my parents' bedroom. And there's no escape from their room without disturbing the conversation. So I stayed there as a child behind the door listening to the conversation. And Pastor Dan went through all the usual scriptures, Romans 8:28, that we're all sinners and fall short of the glory of God. John 14:6, that Jesus is the only way. And my mom still was not interested in accepting Christ and coming to the Lord. And then Pastor Dan shared this story. He says, imagine if you were at Walmart, you got picked up for shoplifting, and my mom was like devastated. She would never do anything like that. She was a very good person. But he says, I know, but please just imagine. So my mom went along with him with the story. So he told her, you've been picked up for shoplifting. You've been tried, you've been convicted and found guilty. And I came along and took your place. My mom was like, why would you ever do something like that? And he said, that's what Jesus did. And my mom got it. She understood what Jesus did on the cross for her. As that little girl behind that bedroom door, I wept, just wept, knowing that my mom had a future in heaven and that I wouldn't be there alone. God had a plan. It took 20 years. It took the loss of another loved one to come together to that point, but God had a plan. He's got a plan for your life. He's got a plan for my life. And we just need to trust him and be willing to walk in that plan. And when we have loved ones that are not believers, we need to trust that he has a plan too, and just don't give up hope. Continue to pray. And as I say, as long as there's another day, there's always another opportunity for them to come to the Lord. So this is Susan with Life Stories, where God takes our life stories and turns them into love stories.